Greetings. In this video, I just want to point out a few different things on how you can get the data from your spreadsheet over into Word and get the chart, the stock market price performance for your company over into the Word document. This is what we created before, the ratios for the company, and all you have to do is copy and paste from here over into your document. Now, to make that a little bit cleaner, I'm going to move this heading that I have here down a little different location, and I'm going to copy it down to each of the other sections. Okay. And before I copy it over, I want it to look kind of nice, so I'm going to gussy it up a little bit here and put some color on it and make it look nice. You always want things to look nice because whatever work you do is a reflection of yourself, so you always want to think in terms of doing excellent work. Okay, so we'll copy this and bring it over into our document where we'll paste it. Now, I already have my heading in my document, the name of the class, my name, what the assignment is, and the name of my company and the ticker symbol here. Okay, so, and the date, the due date for the assignment. So all I have to do here is just paste, and there it is. And then sometimes when you do this, you have to go through and eliminate some extra spaces that sometimes the process puts in, and okay, there we go. Sometimes puts an extra return in there, and then you can format it. So you can go through that and fix it up and make it look nice. Now, once you copy it over in here, then you can write your paragraph about what you see with respect to those particular measures, in this case, liquidity. I'm going to go over to the directions here for a second. Okay. When making judgments in each section, not for each, you don't have to comment necessarily on every ratio separately with a paragraph, but each section, because the measures work together to give us a message. That's why we have them grouped according to liquidity or profitability and so forth. But when we're making comments, state whether the trend is good, bad, or neutral, and then what it means for the risk of the company. Don't simply say this went up or this went down and leave it at that. That's pretty evident by the data you already have in the table. What we want to do is determine if the trend is good or bad and whether that trend is increasing the company's risk or decreasing the company's risk. So going back to my GPC example here, what I could say here is that the current ratio and the quick ratio are both steadily and gradually declining over this 5-year period. That decreases the liquidity of the company, and that's not really a good thing, so it's increasing the risk of the company. And that's really all that needs to be said. Then we can move on. One of the things you want to be careful to avoid in your comments here is making assumptions about the future. It might be a company that you like, but don't say things like, this is a wonderful company and it will surely turn around and get better in the future. Well, we don't know that. We don't have the data to determine that. It might happen, but we don't have the data to make any sort of a claim like that. All we have is the data in front of us, and we want to make a claim. We want to make a judgment about the data that we see. We don't want to make assumptions about the future. Just analyze the data. So it doesn't have to be a big, extensive statement. Just what I mentioned about these declining ratios and the risk is really all you need to do, and then move on to the next section. And what I want to show you now is how to get the chart in your document without too much trouble. We go back to the directions here. So here in the instructions, We can see different places we can get charts, and maybe you have a favorite chart place you'd like to use. We can use this Big Charts. I have a little link to it, and it's a pretty easy thing to use. I'm going to type in my company, GPC, and what pops up is a basic chart for 1 year. What I want is a chart for 5 years, because that's what my data is. And I also want to go to Advanced Chart, because Advanced Chart will allow me to compare this company's stock price movement to the market overall. Okay, so over here on the left, see the name of the company. I'm doing it for 5 years, and I want to compare to, let's see, the index of the S&P 500. That's what we want. And then draw chart. Okay. Alrighty. So we can see here our company's stock price performance and also the Standard & Poor's 500 market index. So what we can see from this is that informed investors have looked at the same data that we're looking at, saw the company's declining liquidity, and also if we go back to my numbers, it's declining profitability over that time. And they decided that this company wasn't quite as valuable as the market overall, and so the stock price is lagging, and investors are seeing that the market in general is a better buy than this company, at least by the way they're pricing it. So in the last couple of years, the stock price has lagged the market, reflecting that increased risk in liquidity and profitability. Okay, so at this point we can just copy image, do a right click, copy image, and come over into the document. And let's see, stock, and we'll make a little heading, price performance. Okay, and we'll paste it in there. Now, the best way to paste it over is to paste it as a picture. It doesn't seem to come in any other way. So we can put it right there. And I want to make sure I have my text wrapping the way I want it. You can do it however you want to, and then just type in your comments about the stock price performance, similar to the kind of comments I just made about it when we were looking at the website where we got it from. So that's how you can get your data in and into Word, what you need to write about it, how you can get the chart in there, and what you say about that. So I hope that helps.